Watermarks are nothing new. If you've watched a TV show or YouTube video, then chances are you've seen that little logo in the corner reminding you that you've been watching the game show network all day instead of doing something productive with your life. But lately, a different type of watermark has started to annoy me, and I wanted to spend a couple of minutes complaining about a troubling trend I've noticed. The game you're looking at right now is called Daydreamer Awakened Edition, and I'm going to be posting a review later today. As you can probably tell, there's a rather large watermark at the top left corner, obnoxiously covering the health and ammo information. I didn't add that watermark, it comes from the game's developer, Roland Studios. This happens whenever you save a Daydreamer video using the PlayStation 4, and it's not the only game that does it. I first noticed the added watermark back in April when I reviewed The Sun and Moon, a simple platformer from Daniel Linson. I didn't think much of it at the time, since the watermark was relatively small and not directly covering up any of the playfield. It annoyed me, but I figured that most people would be paying too much attention to the actual gameplay to care. This watermark issue popped up again when I went to review Super Mutant Alien Assault. This time around, the little icon stood out, and I started getting comments about it. I explained that it's added every time you save with the PlayStation 4, and most understood, but it still bothered me the way that it was stuck there. Back in May, I got a review code for Soft Body, an indie action puzzler with a really cool gimmick. I played through most of the game before realizing that all of the captured footage had this gigantic watermark covering a large chunk of the screen. This was not the small and tasteful watermark found in The Sun and Moon, rather an enormous eyesore placed in the middle of the screen. It wasn't even flush with the side, it was just an island of ugly kitschy art. It's the only thing you can focus on, no matter what else is happening on screen. This watermark was so bad that I decided to reach out to the developer, curious if there was anything I could do to excise it from the game. They quickly got back to me and said it was unintentional and that they would remove it in the next patch. That was more than 2 months ago, and Soft Body remains at version 1.0. I'm here to say that these types of watermarks do more harm than good. Forget for a minute that they're obtrusive. The real problem is that they make people not want to upload videos of the game. What's more, the watermarks are terrible at selling a brand. The only way you know this Super Mutant Alien Assault watermark is connected to the game is if you actually played the game, in which case this ad would be completely useless. Same with the Roland Studios logo. Nobody's going to connect the letters RS to Roland Studios. You could get away with that if you're Nike or McDonald's, but not an indie studio making their first game. I'll confess, the PlayStation 4's video capturing has done me well over the last year and a half. I've reviewed more than 90 PlayStation 4 games, and only 4 of them have come back with this watermark. However, this does seem to be popping up more and more, so I have a hunch I'm going to need to invest in some sort of capturing device for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's something I've been putting off, but will probably happen sooner rather than later. In the meantime, I hope you know that the occasional watermark annoys me just as much as it annoys you. You'll see it rear its ugly head when I review Daydreamer and possibly a couple other games before I invest in the capture device. Bear with me as I continue to build the channel step by step. I appreciate the continued support and hope the watermark doesn't get in the way of my Daydreamer review. Until then,